Welcome back to Romance Dawn Nakama. What if one of the most emotional arcs in One Piece is also one of the most important? When we think about Drum Island, we think about snow, about Chopper, about loss, and about Luffy climbing a mountain carrying 2 lives on his back. But what if that wasn't just a rescue mission? What if Luffy walked into a graveyard? Not of people, but of something the world government tried to erase forever. Today we're diving into a theory that changes everything. Drum Island is not just a winter kingdom. It is a frozen crime scene. And at the center of it all is Marshall D. Teach. Look at Drum Island. Not casually, really look at it. Those mountains aren't normal. They're too tall, too smooth, too perfectly shaped. The Drum Rockies rise over 15,000 feet into the sky like massive pillars. Now here's where it gets strange. That height is almost exactly half of what many believe a sky island reaches. So what if they aren't mountains at all? What if they're stumps? The remains of something ancient, something massive, something that was cut down. Now think about what Vegapunk told us. Devil fruits are born from human desire, not magic, not coincidence, will. So what if there were places in the world where that will didn't just exist, it grew? Ancient trees rooted deep into the earth, absorbing the dreams, fears, and desires of generations. And from those roots, devil fruits were born. Not scattered randomly across the sea, but grown, cultivated, protected. Suddenly, Drum Island isn't random anymore. It's a former garden. Now here's the question. If that's true, why destroy it? Why cut the trees down? Why freeze the entire island? Because in One Piece, cold isn't just temperature, it's suppression. When Aokiji froze Saul, he didn't destroy him. He preserved him, paused him, his will still intact, but unable to act. Impel Down's frozen level doesn't just torture the body, it crushes the spirit. And then there's the frozen straw hat hidden away by Emu, a symbol of inherited will, locked in ice. So now think about Drum Island again. If those trees carried will, if they produced devil fruits, if they were connected to the will of D, then freezing the island wasn't random. It was necessary. The world government didn't just cut the trees down, they made sure nothing would ever grow again. They silenced it. And here's something even crazier. When Luffy arrived on Drum Island, he was struggling. Not just because of the climb, but because of the cold. Luffy's body is rubber. Rubber changes under extreme conditions. In the cold, it hardens. It loses elasticity, it becomes stiff, less responsive. Meaning, on Drum Island, Luffy may not have been able to stretch to his full capacity. The environment itself was suppressing him, just like it suppressed the island. Just like it suppressed the will of everything connected to it. Now let's talk about the man who showed up before Luffy, Marshall D. Teach, Blackbeard. We know he went to Drum Island, but we were never told why. And when Oda doesn't tell us something, it's never small. Blackbeard doesn't just want power, he wants specific power. His fruit, the Yami Yami no Mi, stands in direct opposition to Luffy. Darkness versus the sun, gravity versus freedom, death versus liberation. And here's what's insane. Their fruits look almost identical. Same structure, same shape, like 2 sides of the same design. So what if Blackbeard realized something before anyone else? That Luffy's fruit wasn't unique, that there were others like it, mythical human fruits. Which brings us to Chopper. At first his devil fruit seemed simple, the Hidohito no Mi. But after Wano, that name means something very different, because now we know some Hidohito no Mi are gods. So what is Chopper's really? Look at its design. It resembles a mushroom, a fly agaric, a real-world symbol tied to altered perception, transformation, and evolution. That's not random. Oda doesn't do random. Chopper didn't just gain intelligence. He gained the ability to transform beyond natural limits. Monster Point isn't just medicine, it's forced evolution. So now ask yourself this. What if Blackbeard came to Drum Island, looking for that fruit? And here's the twist. He didn't find it. Not because it wasn't there, but because it couldn't be found. The same cold that froze the island, that suppressed the will of the trees, also suppressed the presence of the devil fruit itself. If devil fruits are manifestations of desire, then Drum Island was a place where desire had been silenced. Blackbeard was searching for something, in a place designed to hide it. So he moved on, to impel down, not just to cause chaos, but to collect. That's where he freed San Juan Wolf, a giant with the ability to change his size, and we still don't know the name of his fruit. In a world where powers are almost always explained immediately, Oda kept that one hidden. Why? Because it might be another Hito Hito no Mi. Blackbeard isn't just building a crew, he's building something else. A collection of will. Now let's bring it all together. In Wano, we learn that Luffy's heartbeat becomes the drums of liberation. A rhythm, a sound, a signal of freedom. Now think about the name, Drum Island. That's not a coincidence, that's a message. This island is named after a sound, a rhythm, a heartbeat. So what if long ago this place wasn't silent? What if it echoed with that same rhythm? What if Drum Island was once connected to Joy Boy, to the will of D, to the very origin of liberation itself? Drum Island was once home to ancient trees. Those trees carried will. They produced devil fruits. They were connected to something the world government feared. So they cut them down. They froze the land. They silenced the drums. And then Blackbeard arrived? Too late to claim what was there, but early enough to understand what was lost. So let me ask you, Nakama, was Drum Island just Chopper's backstory? Or was it our first glimpse at the true origin of devil fruits? And if Blackbeard is searching for these fruits, these wills, these gods, then what happens when he finds one that answers him back? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're ready to uncover the truths the world government buried in ice, make sure you like, subscribe, and step back into Romance Dawn, where the story isn't just told, it's uncovered.